Thanks for the gifted sub. Thanks for the gifted sub. Oh, thanks for the gifted lifted. Thanks for the gifted sub. Thanks for the gifted lifted. 14 out of 15, unacceptable. Unacceptable. What's with the 14 out of 15, people? I'm already blocked off of a channel here. Hey, Debbie. What's with the 14 out of 15, people? Hey, Aaron. Hey, whore dog. I don't understand. Whore dog, I think I know who you are. Just saying. No, I said not mom. I said She thought I said mom. I almost called Southern Fisherman 843 Token Dave. Oh, that's because Southern Fisherman 843 is Token Dave, and I haven't seen you in so long that I almost forgot who you were. What's up, Token Dave? Quick dabbing, I'm back to work. Yeah, whatever, painter. Go paint something. Go paint the town red, bro. I said that to you. I told the painter to go paint the town red. That's funny. I think that's funny. I told you to change your name. Good. I'm glad you changed your name. I like Whore Dog better than whatever it was. Whatever your name was, it sucked. This is way better. I don't mind Whore Dog at all. That's a good one. So look what we got. We've got the gifted. We've got the gifted lifted. I'm like, lifted. It feels like I have been, hey, Nate, assume the position, change your name to Whore Dog. Okay. It's better. I'd rather call you Whore Dog than assume. At least people realize that I'm actually addressing somebody. It works. It works. It does. It works. So speaking of working, let's work on this bong a little bit. You know, I got all of this fantastic bud right here. I smoked this stuff that's called THCO and this other stuff called HHC, and you know, it kind of stays in your system, man. I don't understand it. Any of you guys have any experiences with HHC or THCO? Let me know. So every time I smoke now, like right now, I'm totally fine. I'm totally sober. But one thing I've noticed is every time I smoke now, and it's been days ago since I used that stuff. You like HHC? Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it that much. What it did to me was it stayed in my system. And then after I was done smoking or whatever, and I'd sober up, I thought I was, I'd smoke again, and it would put me back in that funk, you know, like kind of like cloudy. Yeah. You mean like this? HHC gummies? Regardless, when I smoked it, and I don't know if it was the THCO or the HHC, I'm not good. When I smoked it, man, it put me in a haze for days. And every time I smoke cannabis, I go back into that haze for hours, man. It's like it makes the cannabis last a lot longer, way longer than I want it to. I don't want to be high for 4 hours. That's why I don't smoke all day. Yeah, I like these long, drawn-out moments of clarity. You just picked up some Blues Brothers Kush right on Stephen Wyman. Thank you, Wyman. Appreciate that, buddy. The O is potent. I'm telling you, bro, that THCO, it's 3 times more potent than THC. So I just want you guys to be aware of that. Whenever you go out and you're experimenting, whatever, that stuff is not for me. THCO, HHC, whatever it is, I'm not a fan of it. I like naturally grown cannabis. I don't like my cannabis altered with other properties. And the thing that really bothers me about THCO, when you look it up, they don't even reveal how they're extracting it, and they don't tell you all the chemicals that are involved. Not for me. Not for me. So just a warning to you guys that are experimenting with that stuff. It doesn't work for me. You don't like THCO. It's a lingering buzz. How long does it linger for, Token Dave? How long does it last in your body for? You know, this is why there should be no law regarding cannabis. And let me explain this to you guys, okay? Because you pass these laws, and then all these companies trying to find ways to skirt around the laws, and they end up with these things like THCO and HHC instead of just good old THC, which we all know how it works. It works great. You know, you might get some psychoactive, properties out of it, but they only last 45 minutes to an hour and a half, and then you're good. Not so with THCO, bro. That lasts a lot longer. And if you're not happy with that buzz, well, then you better just start the time clock, son, and see. I'm telling you that every time I keep smoking cannabis after I've used this stuff, it kicks in that feeling again. It's not just being high. It's having a weight on your shoulders that you can't get off. It's not pleasant. It's something that I don't like. And I'm just here to warn you guys, if you're going to mess around with that stuff, make sure you know what you're putting in your lungs. It was in a fog for a call days. Delta 8 is all the rave around here, and it's okay. Couple of days. A haze for 3 days for me, guys. And I smoked again last night, and it set me back into that again. So many different strains, and they all have a strange smell. Well, if it's coming from a dispensary, you need to make sure that it's pure cannabis. This is crazy. But this is what these stupid laws have done for us. They've made it a dangerous. Now cannabis has become dangerous. Whereas before, everything was fine. There were no deaths, right? Watch, people are going to start dying on this shit. I guarantee you, people are going to start dying, because if it had that effect on me and I smoke cannabis 3 times a day, imagine what it's going to do to somebody who doesn't use cannabis that much, doesn't know what they're getting into, and all of a sudden they go into a depression or something because they can't get any clarity and they can't think a single thought. I support no law regarding cannabis up until you fail an intoxication breathalyzer test. Yeah, Gusty, what you just said makes no sense at all. Sorry. It doesn't make sense. Until? No. You mean you support no law regarding cannabis, especially if you fail an intoxication? It doesn't even make sense what you said, Gusty. I'm not even going to try to word that properly for you, because the two things don't comport, which is a word that's not in my vocabulary, but you forced me to have to use the word comport. I'm talking just flour, not extracts or anything. Whore dog. It's terrible, man. Some of the flour out there, it's sprayed, man. He must be smoking that. Oh, yeah, right, Steve, right? They spray this stuff on the cannabis. It's a spray. It's a chemical. It's untested. And these idiots in the federal government would rather you put these toxic poisons. Candace, hey, Candace, next time you talk to Tim Danner, could you ask him why he was asking behind my back what my home address is, since he hasn't come in here since? But I would appreciate it if you would do that for me, since you see him all the time. I'm just kind of curious why he would ask somebody else for my home address. Maybe you could just ask him for me and have him come in here and let me know what was up with that. I'm not going to drop that. I'm going to keep after that till I find out what that was all about. It doesn't make me comfortable when people are trying to look me up. Especially Tim, who could have just asked me, and I would have given him my address. Tim, you want to know my address? Okay, here it is. What do you need it for? You could have just asked me. Then it wouldn't have been so freaking shady. And I have a feeling I know why he was asking. I'm going to just throw this out there. Okay? I don't think he was trying to send me something nice, and I don't think he wanted to come visit me. No. I think he was kind of curious about my neighborhood and what kind of a home I was living in. And I think he wanted to check the value on the home that I'm staying in. That's what I think Tim was up to. He can correct me if I'm wrong. He was maybe interested about the area, maybe want to move out here with the wife, looking at the home value, whatever, see how Naya's living, see what my net worth is, whatever. You could have asked me, bro. I'm full disclosure, man. Just saying, I'm just saying that. Have I had any surprised visitors. What? They are taking CBD. Whoa, 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 whoa. They're taking CBD flower and spraying it with Delta 8 or HHC or CBN, but I'm skeptical. Show me lab tests. Right. And remember, we don't trust these companies that are creating these oils at all. They're not disclosing the process. They're not disclosing the chemicals that they're using. Oh, 10 to 15% of the chemicals in this are undisclosed. What? You know, maybe instead of regulating cannabis, you need to regulate the alternative cannabis, what they like to call, they call it synthetic marijuana. That's what they call it, synthetic marijuana. That's what needs to be regulated. The synthetic marijuana business needs to be regulated, not the cannabis industry, not cannabis. And synthetic marijuana isn't cannabis. It's toxic poisons and chemicals. You know, it's like if I'm going to give you some cyanide to poison you, I'm going to sprinkle a little sugar on top and say, here's some sugar. Hill House Hobo, where the hell have you been? Oh my God, I haven't seen you in forever. Good to see you too. Erica, where have you been? I haven't seen you in forever. Good morning, God of Heckfire. Hello, Violet. How are you, Violet? What a lovely name. We talking about the rage on the Delta 810 yada, yada, yada? Yes, we are, Josh G. Yes. They can synthesize these nuts. Thank you, Hill House. I love it. This shit is starting to remind me of K2. Remind you of? Let me tell you something. When I smoked that stuff, I was looking up K2 and spice because that's what I thought I had smoked. Just telling you. I didn't know what it was, and it wasn't cannabis. Oh no, this was not cannabis. This was something else. And it wasn't right. And I knew it right after I finished smoking it. They are made in an unregulated kitchen. I mean, fans looking up and popping up, ringing the doorbell and saying hello. Yeah, that doesn't happen here. I'm in a gated community, Gussie. So people like you can't just show up at my door. But thanks for asking. You can't do that. You know, you're going to get stopped by the guards, and then they're going to call the police and have you arrested for trespassing. But you could try all you want. I'll ask him. I don't know if he's been interested lately in land and house values as they were looking at a move, and I suspect he was just a feeling for how bad prices are across the board. Sure, and that's fine. He should have asked me, not somebody who just visited me recently and gone behind my back. It was really creepy. Thank you, Candace. I figured that's what it was. Still creepy as hell. If they, the government, Stephen is right. The government wants to kill you if they can't control you. Exactly. And they want to take your money away too. If they can't control you financially, they want to take your ability to use cryptocurrency away. And they want to regulate you out of that too. Real cannabis will always be superior. Yes, Nick, it will. COVID's finally hit our house. I'm sorry, Hill House Hobo. I'm sorry, brother. It's terrible. Tried K2 once, never again. Wow, Stephen. Good. Been busy with the family, and 4-year-old keeps me busy. Life in general. How are you, Erica? I'm really good. You know, I'm doing really well. That's so creepy. I hate to smoke and run, but business is booming. Okay, Token Dave. I'm glad you made it. I haven't even smoked yet. Psst. Didn't even bother to smoke with me, did you, pal? Pal Z. Look, I'm gonna smoke some of that saltwater OG. I'm going in on some saltwater OG. Laws against compromised cannabis. I don't even call it cannabis. It's not, whore dog. I call it synthetic marijuana. Synthetic marijuana. I like that name a lot better because it's not cannabis. You know? If they want to call it synthetic marijuana, let them use that term. And that's the only time I will use that term marijuana is when I'm referring to the poison that they're shoving down your throats from the federal government and all these stupid laws. This is what legalization, I warned you guys, been warning you for years, over and over again, no law regarding cannabis. How many times I said it? Now it turns out, looks like the old guy on the mountain was right. Looks like the crazy guy was right when he said there should be no law regarding cannabis, wasn't he? Not too many people could really debate that with me. And now it's not just opinion. There's facts to back up that there should be no law regarding cannabis because when you start regulating it, people are forced to make poison so that they feel like they can make a buck off everybody that wants to smoke something. Look, this show's never been about money. It's always about the proliferation of cannabis, not the proliferation of fake poison crap. You guys know I've had this right since the beginning. Kids are relatively symptom-free so far, but wife and I've been coughing up blood for 2 days. Next tries to tell me it's just a cold, is going to need reconstructive surgery. Hill House Hobo, oh my God. Bro, what's your other name, Hill House Hobo? Are you, it's not Gordon, right? You're not Gordon, you're, I forgot. But Hill House Hobo, tell me who you are. You've got another name, right? Like you've been a trendy for a long, long, long time. Tell me who you are. I just can't remember your name all of a sudden. Okay, swag, gas station funk, right? I like that term, gas station funk. The K2 spice, you know, it's basically the same thing, unregulated. Dan, Hill House Hobo is Dan. Okay, Dan. Anyway, let's smoke, man. We lost Token Dave, and I feel bad. So let's smoke without him. All right, no law regarding the loss of Token Dave because he has to go paint the town red. Cheers, everybody. The gifted lifted. You guys checked out Lifted Smoke Shops. Yeah, Dan. When you said Dan I knew Mercer. Violet. Cheers, Violet. Love that name, Violet. It's one of my favorite colors, too. This is Violet right here. And so is this base. Look at that. Look at that, Violet. The Delta 8 concentrate pens around my area were tested positive for the same additives. Wow. Wow. Really? The Delta 8. So Aaron just said this, guys, about the Delta 8. Delta 8 concentrate pens around my area were testing positive for the same additive as the most recent K2. Because they're always tweaking that chemical compound to keep it legal, but someone I know had gotten an overdose-like symptoms from one. I got some overdose-like symptoms from something that was labeled HHC or THCO. And boy, oh boy, I don't ever want to put that stuff in my body ever again. To me, it's fucking poison. To me, it's exactly why there should be no law regarding cannabis. And there should be every law regarding synthetic marijuana. Synthetic marijuana. Violet's hard to beat, God of Heckfire. So I got this waterfall in my backyard. I went out there this morning and I was checking out, but it was so cold outside. It's like 49 degrees out there. But you got to get your... Hey, Stephen Wyman, we don't call it weed on here. For the same reason I don't use the word marijuana when I'm referring to cannabis. We only call it cannabis, actually. So the reason why is because the definition of weed is a useless plant. So when you refer to cannabis as weed, you're literally playing into the whole federal government narrative that cannabis has absolutely no medical value whatsoever. And they've been pushing that down our throats since the 30s. How's that for an explanation, buddy? Thanks. So we call it cannabis on here. The reason I'm using the term synthetic marijuana is because of all these idiots that are creating this garbage and shoving it down our throats, and the idiots in the government who are still sitting on this legislation that is controlling THC and cannabis and hemp. But Lee Camp just covered this law that they passed the House again, which doesn't mean anything. Okay, it passed the House. It's still got to get through the Senate, right? And it's funny is that Lee Camp promotes it as groundbreaking bill passed. I mean, dude, they've already done it, so it's not groundbreaking. And number two, it hasn't passed anything, so it hasn't broken any ground whatsoever. It's already passed the House once, and then it was shot down by the Senate. Could happen again. I got my hopes up at the beginning of this year, or was it last year? It was a long time ago. I thought it was Donald Trump that was going to legalize cannabis. Remember that? I was like, they're going to pass this bill in January. It's going to be awesome. I bet the farm on it, and I was totally wrong. You guys remember that? He was bragging about how high it got him, how it was so much more potent than regular THC, and the next day he was in the hospital for overdose-like symptoms. Yeah. One hit, I refused to touch it. I knew something was up. Dude, it works. It takes 30 minutes for that shit to kick in. So I had smoked it, and I thought I was high because I was smoking cannabis too. And I was getting, some kind of a reaction. But after a half hour, I said, this is not cannabis, and there's something wrong. And then for 6 hours, I felt like that. It wore off, but the next day I was still groggy. And then when I smoked cannabis again, it kicked it all back in again for hours, for 4 hours, man. And it wasn't as bad, but it was bad. And I didn't want to be high for 4 freaking hours. And then after that, I waited another day, I smoked again. It kicked it back in again. And I was wasted for 2-3 hours fully, which I didn't want to be. I've got all of this cannabis, all of this stuff here, so I can smoke exactly how much I know I need, so I can, retain the right kind of buzz that I want during the show. And then when the show's over, I don't smoke anymore. I mean, yeah, hey, man, let me ask you guys a question. Give me a 1 in the chat right now if you think that I smoke after I turn off the show. If you think when I say, okay, bye, everybody, later, you think I sit here and do another bong rip, give me a 1 in the live chat. If you believe that, I want to know how little you know me. I only smoke during these shows, man. That is when I smoke. I turn the show on so I can smoke. When the show goes off, I'm done because I smoked enough. And you'll tell in the show, people will be like, yo, Nate, it's time to smoke. And I'll be like, I'm done. I'm not going to turn the show off and then smoke without you. Smoking is part of the magnet here. It's part of what keeps you here. I wish I could smoke the whole time, because I know you guys would be watching. If I had a whole table of people behind me that were all smoking, the show would last and last and last. You guys just love watching people smoke. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't have the capacity for it. So just understand this, what you see is what you get here, man. And there's a really good reason for that. I have always used this show as a platform to show you how awesome cannabis is and give you the real facts and the real-time effects that it has on me. To me, I need to cut back, but I indulge during gaming. I love your perspective on smoking. It really opens me up to the benefits of the plant and not abusing. So, Josh, you thought that I smoked when the show was off. You didn't smoke. I was saying I smoke often. Yeah, I wasn't asking you for a one. I was asking you if you thought I smoked for a one. You know, most of my friends smoke all day. You know, most of the people I know, when they have access to cannabis, they use it all day. I've never had that need, but I do like to use it 3 times a day. You know, I don't smoke often because it's risky because of my CDL. Nick Brown, Joel Froggy. Hey, Joel, quite a few East Coast trendies. Yeah, we're all over here on the East Coast. Chilling.
All right, guys. Have a good day, too. Thanks, Marie. You're welcome.
Bye. Beautiful. You should see it at night. Oh, you saw it at night with the lights on? Yeah. Yes.
The only problem is now I have no light on the bottom. So he's going to have to come and put more lights up.
Yes, he is. And you know what? You can never have too many lights. You can never have too many lights outside, man. It makes it pretty. Just butted in like a jack wagon and stole your pole. Just wanted to say that your use on the show and not using off show has opened me up to not abusing it and overindulging. And that's a good thing about cannabis is unless it's affecting your ability to just do regular stuff, you can't abuse it, right? Until, you know, it's abusive if you're eating too much food after you smoke it. It's abusive if you can't drive a vehicle after you smoke it. Then you're abusing yourself because you might have to go to some place. You know, you might have to go pick up a friend, you might have to take yourself somewhere, whatever. And you're abusing yourself. But if it doesn't affect you that way, if you could smoke all day, and trust me, man, I know plenty of people who smoke all day, who I will literally get in a car with them while they are using cannabis in the vehicle, while they're driving the vehicle. And it doesn't bother me at all. I'm not really worried about them, you know, stopping me on the accelerator instead of the brake. You know? And if I'm with someone like that and they're tailgating someone, then I'll worry a little bit. I'll be like, you know what? You got to give them a little space because your reaction time is slower. That's true. Your reaction time is slower. So you've got to, it's very easy. Back off a little more than your normal freaking half a car following distance, you freaking rodents. Those of you that do that, stop. Okay? You know, and I like to give about, 10 car lengths, about 3 seconds between the car in front of me. And if they slam on their brakes or if they're turning off or whatever, I don't even have to slow down. I just keep on rolling down the road, man, feeling good. But you should have that. You should be smart enough that if you're going to use cannabis and drive, that you should have that following distance. You know. And look, when the bodies start piling up of all the cannabis related car accidents on the road, let me know. Let me know. And when it's just cannabis, that's the ones I want to hear about. Not when someone had smoked cannabis and they're using alcohol or another drug, because cannabis does enhance some things that you put in your body. It's true. But most of the time, it's not going to be just the cannabis that causes a car accident. But then again, I know there's people out there who get high and they shouldn't be anywhere near a car. They shouldn't even ride in a car. I do know people like that. And some of them won't smoke, because they know how they are. It's not for everybody. I just felt that I kind of shouldn't be that way. It doesn't affect me financially either, but I just don't want to solely have to do it anything else. Look, as long as it's not hurting you, as long as you've got access to it, Josh, it's not hurting your money situation. You're not hurting your lungs, you know? All right, cheers. What's up, Beazle? You guys want to see outside? It's pretty. It's pretty outside today. Improve your life. Beetle. Bullies are best dogs. He's pretty fantastic. He's pretty awesome. So it's 9. It's supposed to be 63 degrees outside right now. It says 45. $56. Okay. It's pretty cold. So I watched some video of Elizabeth Warren and Hillary Clinton wanting to regulate cryptocurrency. And the reason for wanting to regulate it is the exact reason that you should want to hold crypto and you should vote against these people. The reason is so you can't have financial independence from the United States federal government. And they literally just admit that. They want you to be chained to the American dollar bill. And how dare you be able to go out and buy a car with your own currency? So I wanted to point that out to you. It's all over the internet. If that's something that would interest you guys, it's worth looking at. It's worth listening to what Hillary Clinton says so you just understand where she's coming from. Rachel Maddow is doing an interview with her, the one that I saw. There's several interviews. I watched several. She parrots the exact same points every time she speaks. It's the same thing. You know, cryptocurrency bad, needs regulation. Only criminals use cryptocurrency. Wow. So bank robbers never steal American dollars from banks? You know, hitmen don't get paid in American dollars. You know, human traffickers don't deal in American dollars. Really, drug dealers don't take $20 bills. You know, it's just the dumbest lie that they look you in the face and they tell you right there to make Rachel Maddow. Yeah, only bad people use crypto. That's what crypto is for, all of that stuff. But the American dollar, oh no, we just pay for homeless. That's why we don't have any homeless encampments, because we take those American dollars and we build homeless shelters for the homeless. We don't buy drones with those American dollars. We don't send our money to Ukraine for a war. that shouldn't even be happening right now. Oh, wait. My bad. I got all that wrong. That was actually, we do all that. Okay, my bad. Everything I just said, just reverse it. They're covering the war in the Ukraine like a game show. Who do you think is going to win? How's Putin going to play this one? Look at what Biden's got up his sleeve. Look at these new sanctions. You guys heard about the new sanctions? So what have the sanctions done? Okay, they've raised your gas prices and they've caused inflation in your country. Come at me. Come at me. Try to deny it. You know it's true. What's it done for Russia? Well, it turns out that the ruble just went back to pre-war value. That's what our sanctions did. And if you don't think you're pawns in this hilarious game that these morons are spinning on you, maybe you guys should watch a little bit more what's going on in the podcasting world and turn off this garbage they call mainstream news. Because you ain't hearing it there. You're hearing the rah, rah, rah. Oh, Putin just killed 52 people in a train station. It's a war crime. He's a war criminal. Support us. Yeah, purple buds will make you. I stay away from them, man, for the most part when I'm doing the show. You know, at the end of the night, if I have a hard time sleeping, that is the time for me to smoke something purple. I rarely do it. Rarely smoke purples. But if I'm with a bunch of people and they're all quacking out on me and I want to calm them all down, that's what I'll smoke with them. I'll smoke them out on some of that and I'll watch them just go like this. You know? The ruble's backed by gold. Our dollar's in trouble. Poor dog. We have plenty of more money. We have plenty of money for bombs and nothing for Medicare for all. I don't know, man. There's plenty of podcasters out there covering that stuff, and I want you guys to seek them out if that's what you're interested in listening to. I can only discuss it on here for so long. But you know what we can do all the time on here? Well, look at this. We're going to smoke Aaron-eyed. Nope, now we're going to smoke K2 LED. Look at that. Look, that's what's in my bowl. K2 LED is in my bowl. A little K2 LED is in my bowl. That's kind of funny, huh? What? K2 LEDs in my bowl. Here, actually, hold on. I've got this one here, True Black, Too Strong. That is a purple that'll just knock you on your ass. Okay, so here we go. I was kind of hoping smoking all this regular cannabis is going to help cleanse whatever it was I smoked out of my system, you know? But it just seemed to keep flashing back to it. You know, it seemed to activate it again. But I want to be able to smoke until that doesn't happen anymore, you know? So last night I had to drive somewhere. I had a nice test of it. I smoked a whole bunch of cannabis on a show last night. I got super high and then ring, got right in the truck and drove. I was fine. I was good. I had no problems. with perception, you know, or anxiety. All right, what else is going on? Yeah, man, watching the sunrise. Since we weren't able to hang out last week, I'm going to be hanging out this week at the Springs. It's going to be nice. Whatever happened to those old strains, Steven? I don't know. You might be able to get those seeds still, bro. You look them up. I mean, it's not like OG Kush is bad, bro. You know, it's not like Hindu Kush is bad or strawberry watermelon or birthday cake, you know, or Gorilla Glue 4 or Girl Scout cookies. Right, Steven? There's some new strains that are great, bro. I suggest you look into them. Just make sure it's pure cannabis, man. I am I'm gonna stick with no law regarding cannabis. That's what I'm sticking with. Hashtag cheers. Hashtag no law regarding cannabis. Cheers, everybody. From the gifted lifted smoke shops. Yeah, good strains, right, Steve? Seymour, right on, buddy. The lawn's filling in back there. Watching that happen. There's still these dead spots that have to be kind of raked out, you know. And I'm gonna have to go out there and do it. And if I do, man, you rake out the dead shit, it leaves that area for the other grass to grow in. It uproots the edges of the other grass and brings them. How's Rogie? Same. Still freaking limping on that back paw. Fucking sucks. Yeah. You love all the windows? Yeah, look at this. And there's windows over there, and there's windows over there too. And no matter where you sit in this room, it's It's pretty badass. My dad and I planted this tree right here when we first moved into this house. It was just it was like 4 feet tall when we put it in. And my dad said someday this tree is going to provide shade here. So this is going to be here for a long time. I was like, right on. There it is. It's a lot of Windex to clean the windows. Yeah. It's like a freaking aquarium out into the world. It's crazy when you're sitting here and there's a storm outside. You're just watching the rain come down. Or you get like a whole pack of deer playing in the backyard, or some bears, or like last night I saw a raccoon, which was cool. And then there's this this creek, it's beautiful. Beautiful. You guys want to see my minnows, man? Let's see, where is that? I've got to find those videos. Where did I put the videos? I forgot. Let me see. I found them. I found the videos. Okay. This is a 4-minute video. All right. Whoa. Okay, here's the video. Supposedly. There it is. All right, so now we have a video. This is going to be fun because I've got a few of these, and they're just, you know what, man? This is in the creek because Tula sent me a camera, an underwater camera. This is the case for it. So cool, man. I had no idea how these things worked, and now I totally get them. Lusa, can you bring him over this window for a second? I just want to show him this tree. Hey, Dad. Dad, do you remember planting this tree? Do you remember this tree right here?
It's okay.
Yeah. Remember? Remember when we planted that tree, you and I? And you remember what you told me? You said, we're going to plant this tree right here. One day it's going to be a big tree. Right? You remember that? Look at that. It's beautiful, isn't it? That's a beautiful tree, isn't it? It's beautiful, isn't it? You and I put that tree there together. 35 years ago, something like that. Can you believe that? You remember that? Yeah? Do you remember putting that tree there? You remember it, don't you? This tree right here. I thought it was a ficus tree. It's not a ficus. It's what kind of a tree is it? What kind of a tree is it? Do you know? I know that you know what kind of a tree that is. Forgot though. Beautiful, isn't it? Rogan will get jealous. Where is Rogan? Oh, he's probably laying down somewhere, right?
He's over there. He's by the door.
Oh, cool. Right in the sun. Okay, cool. My dad's got this cool thing on. Check this out. Badass. Put him in there. The lawn's starting to look nice, my dad. You've got a sprinkler system put back in there. All the sprinklers were ripped up. Explain it to him. All the sprinklers were ripped up, and none of them were working. All the lines were torn up. So we had these guys come in, and they dug trenches, and they put a whole sprinkler system down through the whole backyard now. So there's sprinklers, just like whenever you moved into this property. The very first thing, one of the first things you did was you put down sprinklers, and over the years, they've been destroyed. So all new lines have been run, and now we've got sprinklers, and they come on every other day, every other night. They at 8, 9 o'clock at night, and the entire backyard now is getting watered. So, you like that? All right. You guys got nothing to say. So I'm leaving. All right, you guys take care. Bye now.